And now we bring you an episode from our series, The Epic of Mai Chivara, Warrior Heart Mother. Drums begin softly, the sound of wind over granite hills. Narrator, deep, steady voice. In the valley of Mazawe, where the granite hills of Domboshawa whisper the voices of ancestors, there lived a woman with a heart of fire. Her name was Mai Chivara, not a warrior with spears and shields, but a warrior with foresight, a mother who fought with vision to protect her only daughter, Nyasha. Now Mai Chivara's daughter was very beautiful, like the evening sky full of stars, like the morning glow on the eastern hills, like the sweet song of the crested crane. And when the time came for her to choose a partner, men came from every village to ask for her hand. Mighty warriors, brave hunters, influential traders, rich men with ivory and gold. They all came bearing gifts and compliments. "We have heard of your daughter's beauty," they would say to Mai Chivara. "Give her to me, and I will build you a palace of stone. I will fill your granaries with grain. I will clothe you in finest skins and adorn you with bracelets of gold." But Mai Chivara would listen patiently until the last suitor had gone. Then she would look up at the sky and laugh. "You have come to trade for my daughter," she would say to the hills, "as if she is just a blanket or a necklace of beads." And the hills would rumble in agreement, for the spirits of her ancestors lived in those granite peaks. And they, too, knew the worth of Nyasha, not just as a pretty face or a trophy of pride, but as a daughter, a future mother, a keeper of wisdom. One day, however, her daughter, Nyasha, overheard these words, and sadness filled her heart. "Mother," she said, "will I never know love? Will I never feel the warmth of a husband's embrace or the joy of children at my side?" Mai Chivara turned to her and saw the yearning in her daughter's eyes. It broke her heart to think that her daughter would live a life without love. So that night, after the moon had climbed high in the sky and the fireflies began their dance, she called Nyasha to her side. "My child," she said, "you are right. Every woman desires love, and you, my daughter, deserve the best love this world can offer. Do not misunderstand me, my love. It is not that I want you to remain alone. It is that I do not want you to be trapped in a cage of deceit. I do not want you to be treated as a prize won by a boastful hunter. I want you to choose love, not because of pressure or expectation, but because two hearts see the same fire in each other. But how will I find such a man, mother? How will I know him when he comes?" Mai Chivara smiled. "You already have found him, my child. Love does not seek power, wealth, or beauty. It seeks understanding, respect, and shared purpose. I have given you 3 gifts: the knowledge to weave baskets beyond compare, the herd of cattle blessed by the ancestral rain, and the secrets of healing in the whispering herbs. These are your strengths, Nyasha, and any man who comes for your hand must see not just your beauty, but also these parts of you. If he accepts you with open arms, embracing all that you are, then he is worthy of your love. But if he tries to dim your flames to suit his darkness, then run from him, my child, and let the light of your wisdom guide you." So Nyasha waited, tending her garden, weaving her baskets, caring for her animals. And she watched the men come and go. There were men who admired her independence, who were amazed by her knowledge of herbs, and who respected her gentle strength. But there were also men who saw only her beauty and tried to force her into submission. Then one day a stranger arrived. He was tall and lean, with eyes that twinkled like the stars, and carried a staff carved with ancient symbols. His name was Tendai, and he was a traveler, a seeker of wisdom. When he asked for Nyasha's hand in marriage, he did not bring cows, ivory, or gold. He brought a drum carved with the same symbols as his staff. When he played it, the sound echoed across the valley, and the notes seemed to rise and fall with the wisdom of the ages. He did not speak of her beauty or shower her with gifts. He talked about his journeys, his encounters with different cultures, and his thirst for knowledge. Nyasha listened, fascinated, for she too had a thirst for adventure and a hunger for wisdom. And when he played his drum, she saw not just music, but a reflection of her own soul. She felt a connection with him that went beyond physical attraction, a bond of shared values, goals, and dreams. When Mai Chivara heard this, she knew that Tendai was no ordinary man. He was a seeker of truth, a keeper of stories, a weaver of connections, and she saw in him a partner for her daughter, a man who could not only love Nyasha, but also support her dreams and aspirations. So she decided to test him. "You wish to marry my daughter," she said, "then you must first prove your worth. Go to the Cave of Truth. Stay there for 3 days and emerge with a pure heart. If you return with a clear conscience, then I will give you my blessing." Tendai agreed, for he had nothing to hide, and his heart was as pure as the mountain spring. But Nyasha was worried. The Cave of Truth was a place of solitude and introspection. It was said that anyone who entered it emerged transformed. But she feared that Tendai might emerge a stranger, someone she no longer recognized. As the 3 days passed, she sat outside the cave, her hands twisting in her lap, her eyes fixed on the entrance. On the 3rd day, when the sun reached its zenith, a figure emerged from the cave. It was Tendai, but his eyes were different. They shone with a newfound clarity, as if he had shed a heavy burden and embraced a lighter truth. He walked towards Nyasha, and when he reached her, he took her hands in his. "I have seen my darkness, Nyasha," he said, "my fears, my doubts, my insecurities, and I have left them behind. I emerge from the cave not as a perfect being, for I am not, but as a man ready to grow, to learn and to love." Nyasha looked into his eyes and saw not just honesty, but humility, empathy, and kindness. She saw a man who had faced his demons and emerged stronger and wiser. In that moment, she knew that she loved him, not just because of his looks or status, but because of his spirit, his resilience, and his willingness to be vulnerable. Then Mai Chivara approached them, her face etched with concern. "Did you find the answers you sought?" she asked Tendai. "I did, mother," he replied. "Not answers, but questions. Questions that lead to deeper truths, questions that connect us to each other, to nature, and to the universe. I have realized that love is not just a feeling, but a way of life. It is a choice we make every day to embrace the unknown, to accept the imperfections, and to grow together." Mai Chivara's heart swelled with pride. She had not only found a son-in-law, but a philosopher, a seeker of wisdom. She embraced Tendai, tears of joy streaming down her face. "You have passed the test," she said, "not because you are perfect, but because you are real. Go, my children, and build your life together. May it be filled with love, laughter, and learning." And so Nyasha and Tendai were joined not by desperation, not by lust, but by equal fire, the fire of shared purpose, the fire of mutual respect, and the fire of unconditional love. The mountains swayed as if in celebration, and the ancestors sang through the granite peaks. And from that day forward, their story became a legend, a tale told around campfires, a reminder for young girls, and a guiding light for mothers. Then the narrator speaks, closing the epic, and mothers told their daughters, "Do not rush into the arms of men who count women like prey. Build your basket, tend your herd, learn your herbs. Let no man trap you with gifts. When true love comes, it will rise with you." And with that, the epic of Mai Chivara, Warrior Heart Mother, comes to a close. We hope you enjoyed this episode from our series. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button below and share it with your friends. Your support means the world to us. Now, if you're eager to dive into more amazing stories, simply tap on the screen to continue your journey. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and never stop exploring the world of endless possibilities. Thank you for joining us today.